The large viewing screen on the bridge of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon displayed an alien ship unlike anything humans had ever seen. It gleamed with a blue-silver light that seemed to bend the stars around it. Commander Lisa Hawkins took a deep breath. This was humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization. "Open communications," she ordered, her voice steady despite her racing heart. The alien face that appeared on the screen had pale green skin, large black eyes, and no visible nose. Small breathing slits fluttered on the sides of its face. "I am High Admiral Zix Vorn of the Galactic Confederation. You have entered regulated space. Identify yourselves," the alien said in perfect English, thanks to their advanced translation technology. "I am Commander Lisa Hawkins of the Earth vessel Horizon. We come in peace and friendship," she replied, using the first contact protocol that had been practiced countless times. The alien's eyes narrowed. "Your propulsion system is primitive. How did you reach this sector?" Lisa felt a flash of annoyance but kept her diplomatic smile. "We developed jump drive technology 5 years ago. It has served us well." High Admiral Zix Vorn made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Jump drive? We abandoned that technology 3,000 years ago. Your species is younger than we thought." Within hours, the Horizon was escorted to a massive space station where representatives from Earth's United Nations Space Command were brought to meet with the Confederation Council. Admiral Frank Donovan led the human delegation, with Lisa at his side. The council chamber held representatives from 27 different alien species. Some looked almost human, while others were so strange that Lisa couldn't tell which part was their face. All of them looked at the humans with curiosity, amusement, or outright dismissal. "We propose a treaty of friendship and mutual protection," Admiral Donovan said, standing proud in his dress uniform. "Earth has much to offer in terms of cultural exchange, resources, and scientific cooperation." The council members exchanged glances. A large tentacled being spoke next. "We have reviewed your technology level. You are at least 500 years behind the youngest council member species. What could you possibly offer us?" Admiral Donovan kept his cool. "Humanity has a unique perspective. We solve problems differently. Our creativity and adaptability—" Yes, interrupted Zix Vorn. "Every young species claims to be special. The truth is, you're barely space-capable by our standards." An older alien with wispy white hair raised a long-fingered hand. "Perhaps we should offer them protected species status. It would be the humane thing to do." Lisa felt her stomach sink. Protected species status sounded like being put in a zoo. "What exactly does protected species status mean?" she asked. A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber, showing terms that made Admiral Donovan's face grow darker with each line. Earth would receive protection from hostile species and limited technological assistance. In exchange, humans would restrict their expansion to their own solar system, share all their resources with the Confederation at fixed rates, and agree not to develop certain technologies, particularly military ones. "This is not an equal partnership," Admiral Donovan said firmly. "This would make Earth a vassal world." Zix Vorn shrugged, a gesture he had clearly learned to use when dealing with humans. "It is generous, given your development level. You should be grateful." Later that day, back on the Horizon, Earth's representatives held an emergency meeting. President Eleanor Blackwood joined via secure quantum communication from Earth. "They scanned our ship thoroughly," Lisa reported. "They know about most of our technology, but there's something strange. They seem to have missed or ignored our experimental systems." President Blackwood's holographic form nodded. "What about Project Harbinger?" "No mention of it," Admiral Donovan confirmed. "Either their scans didn't detect it, or they don't understand what they saw." "That could be our advantage," said Lisa. "They're underestimating us because our technology looks different from theirs." The president's expression was grim. "I've received a message from the Confederation Council. They're demanding we dismantle our military vessels beyond what they call basic defensive capability. They've threatened pacification if we refuse." A heavy silence fell over the room. "Pacification?" Lisa finally asked. A polite term for forcing us to comply, Admiral Donovan explained. They don't see us as equals. They see us as children who need to be controlled. President Blackwood straightened her shoulders. I've made a decision. We will officially accept protected species status while buying time. Meanwhile, I'm authorizing full acceleration of Project Harbinger. Admiral Donovan, you'll return to Earth immediately to oversee it. What about the horizon? Lisa asked. You'll stay here as our liaison, Commander Hawkins. Keep them focused on you while we work back home. 6 days later, Lisa stood next to Zix Vorn as Earth's officials signed the Protected Species Agreement in a public ceremony. Cameras broadcast the event across the galaxy. Earth was now officially under the Confederation's protection and control. A wise decision, Zix Vorn told her. Your species will be safe now. We've always valued safety, Lisa replied carefully. That night, she encrypted a message to Earth. Agreement signed, Eagle is caged, but the Harbinger comes. Deep beneath the surface of Neptune's moon Triton, far from prying alien eyes, engineer Samantha Rodriguez stared at the massive shape taking form in the hidden shipyard. 5 miles long and built with technology that the Confederation believed impossible for humans to create, the USS Harbinger was already halfway complete. They gave us 5 years to dismantle our military, she said to Admiral Donovan as he joined her on the observation deck. How long until she's ready? 2 years, he replied. We've selected the crew already. Captain Alan Martinez will command her. The troublemaker? Samantha raised her eyebrows. We need someone who thinks differently. The galaxy believes they know what humans are capable of. Martinez will prove them wrong. They looked at the growing framework of the most advanced warship ever built by human hands. Its weapons were still theoretical to most scientists. Its drive system bent physics in ways that would make Confederation engineers claim it was impossible. Do you think they have any idea what we're building? Samantha asked. Admiral Donovan shook his head. No, they think they've seen everything we can do. Their arrogance is our advantage. In her quarters on the alien space station, Lisa Hawkins received the encrypted reply from Earth. Just 4 words that made her smile for the first time in weeks. Harbinger rises. Hold position. The Confederation thought they had tamed humanity. They were wrong. 5 years passed since Earth signed the Protected Species Agreement. On the surface, humans appeared to accept their place in the galactic order. Earth representatives smiled at Confederation meetings. Trade ships followed all regulations. Military vessels were visibly dismantled according to schedule. Deep beneath Neptune's moon Triton, however, the real work continued. Engineer Samantha Rodriguez floated in zero gravity beside the massive hull of the USS Harbinger. Her work suit allowed her to move freely as she inspected the final armor plates. The ship looked nothing like traditional human vessels. Its dark hull absorbed light rather than reflecting it. Its shape followed no recognizable pattern. Parts of it seemed to bend in impossible ways. Final systems check complete, she reported into her communication unit. Harbinger is ready for captain's inspection. Admiral Donovan's voice came through clearly. Excellent work, Samantha. Captain Martinez will arrive within the hour. When Captain Alan Martinez entered the hidden shipyard, the entire engineering team stood at attention. He was a tall man with serious eyes and a reputation for questioning orders when they didn't make sense, a quality that had slowed his career but made him perfect for this mission. At ease, he said, his eyes fixed on the enormous ship. So, this is the famous Harbinger. Yes, sir. Samantha stepped forward. Would you like a tour of your new command? Martinez nodded, and they entered through a side airlock. Inside, the ship was just as unusual as its exterior. Corridors curved in gentle arcs rather than sharp angles. Control panels responded to touch, voice, and even thought patterns through neural interfaces. The quantum displacement drive is our biggest breakthrough, Samantha explained as they entered the engine room. It doesn't just move through space. It temporarily shifts the ship into another dimension where distance works differently, then brings it back at the desired location. And the Confederation doesn't have this technology? Martinez asked. They don't even think it's possible. Their science followed a different path. Next, They visited the weapons section, where Lieutenant Commander Kevin Walsh waited to show Captain the ship's offensive capabilities. The graviton compression cannons are unlike anything else in the galaxy, Walsh said with pride. They create a focused field that briefly increases gravity around the target by several thousand times. Ships get crushed from within. How many shots before recharge? Martinez asked. That's the beauty of it, sir. The system draws energy directly from quantum space. As long as the drive is operational, weapons can fire continuously. Martinez raised an eyebrow, impressed despite his naturally skeptical nature. The tour ended on the bridge where First Officer Maya Jackson waited. Unlike the captain's serious demeanor, she greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome aboard, Captain," she said. "The crew is nearly assembled. We have the best minds Earth could find, people who think differently and won't back down." "Good," Martinez replied. "We'll need them all." Later that day, the senior officers gathered in the ship's conference room. Admiral Donovan joined them. "Via secure communication. The launch date is set for next week," the Admiral informed them. "You'll conduct final tests in the outer solar system, away from Confederation patrols." "Our cover story?" Martinez asked. "There isn't one. The Harbinger doesn't officially exist. If detected, you activate stealth systems immediately." The officers exchanged glances. This was real. They were about to command a ship that violated dozens of Confederation regulations. And if the stealth fails? First Officer Jackson asked the question everyone was thinking. Admiral Donovan's face was grim. "Then Earth will disavow all knowledge of your mission. You'll be on your own." 1 week later, the massive hidden doors of the Neptune shipyard slid open. The Harbinger moved silently into space, its engines barely visible as a faint blue glow. The crew of 300 stood at their stations, aware they were making history. Captain Martinez sat in the command chair. "Navigation, set course for the test zone beyond Pluto's orbit." "Course set, Captain," replied the navigator. "Engage quantum displacement drive at minimum power." The ship hummed with energy. On the view screen, stars seemed to bend around them. Then, in less than a heartbeat, they were beyond Neptune's orbit. "Drive functioning within parameters," Engineer Rodriguez reported from the engine room. "We can increase power when ready." For 3 days, the Harbinger conducted tests in the outer solar system. Each system performed beyond expectations. The AudioBook adaptive shield matrix learned from simulated attacks, becoming stronger with each test. The graviton weapons turned small asteroids to dust. The stealth systems made the ship vanish from all conventional sensors. On the 4th day, disaster nearly struck. "Captain, Confederation patrol vessel approaching from Saturn," the sensor officer reported suddenly. "They appear to be on a routine survey mission, but their course will bring them within detection range." Martinez leaned forward. "Time to detection?" 8 minutes at current speed. First Officer Jackson stepped closer. "We could retreat to the shipyard, but they might track our energy signature." "No," Martinez decided. "This is why we built this ship. Time to see if it works. Activate stealth systems." The lights on the bridge dimmed slightly as power flowed to the stealth field generators. The Harbinger seemed to fade like a ghost, its outline becoming transparent before disappearing completely. "Stealth systems engaged," Kevin Walsh confirmed from the weapons station. "We're now invisible to all known sensors." The crew watched tensely as the Confederation ship grew closer on their screens. It was a sleek vessel with the distinctive blue-silver glow of alien technology. "They're scanning this sector," the sensor officer whispered, though there was no need to be quiet. The Confederation ship moved slowly through the area, its powerful sensors sweeping space. For several minutes it continued the scan. Then, apparently satisfied, it adjusted course toward Uranus. "They didn't detect us," Samantha said with clear relief in her voice. Captain Martinez allowed himself a small smile. "No, they didn't. The stealth systems work perfectly." He turned to his communications officer. "Send word to Admiral Donovan. The Harbinger is invisible to Confederation technology." That evening, as the ship maintained its hidden position, Martinez stood in his quarters, looking at the stars. First Officer Jackson joined him. "What are you thinking, Captain?" she asked. "I'm thinking that for 5 years we've been treated like children by the Confederation," he replied. "But now we have something they don't understand and can't detect. The question is, what will we do with it?" Jackson nodded slowly. "The crew is asking the same question. They joined this mission to protect Earth, but they also want to show the galaxy what humans can really do." "They'll get their chance," Martinez assured her. "Sooner than anyone expects." Back on Earth, Commander Lisa Hawkins sat through another condescending meeting with Confederation officials. As always, she smiled and nodded at their instructions. As always, she kept her true thoughts hidden. Her communication device vibrated silently. The message was brief, but made her heart race. Harbinger. Test successful, the ghost ship lives. 3 months after the Harbinger's successful stealth test, an urgent message arrived at Earth Space Command headquarters. Admiral Frank Donovan read it with growing anger. The human colony on Tau Ceti was under attack. "Who's attacking them?" President Eleanor Blackwood demanded during the emergency meeting. "The Raxan Empire," Admiral Donovan replied, "a species from the Outer Rim. They're known for attacking weaker worlds." "Where is our Confederation protection?" the President asked. Commander Lisa Hawkins, recently returned from her diplomatic post, answered grimly. "They claim their response. Vessels are dealing with another crisis. They'll arrive in 3 days." 3 days? The colony will be destroyed by then. President Blackwood slammed her hand on the table. "This is exactly why we built the Harbinger. Where is it now?" "Hidden in the Kuiper Belt, fully operational," Admiral Donovan confirmed. The President stood up straight. "Send the order. The Harbinger. We'll defend Tau Ceti, but make it clear to Captain Martinez, no one can know it's a human ship." Aboard the USS Harbinger, Captain Alan Martinez read the mission orders with First Officer Maya Jackson and Lieutenant Commander Kevin Walsh. "Tau Ceti is 4 light-years away," Jackson noted. "Even with our quantum drive, it will take 12 hours to reach them. By then, hundreds will be dead," Martinez said grimly. "We need to push the drive harder." Engineer Samantha Rodriguez joined them via communication screen. "Captain, we could attempt a direct quantum jump. It's risky. We've never attempted it at this distance, but it could get us there in minutes instead of hours." "What are the risks?" Martinez asked. "The calculations must be precise. One small error could place us inside a planet or star, and the power drain will leave us unable to jump again for at least 10 hours. Martinez thought for only a moment. "Do it. People are dying while we talk." 2 hours later, the Harbinger was ready. The crew secured themselves for the untested long-range jump. "Quantum displacement drive at maximum power," Samantha reported from engineering. "Calculations complete." "Engage," Martinez ordered. The ship hummed with energy as the quantum field built around it. Then reality itself seemed to bend. The stars stretched and twisted. For a brief, disorienting moment, every crew member felt like they were everywhere, and nowhere at once. Then suddenly they were in the Tau Ceti system. "Jump successful," the navigation officer announced with relief. "We're 2 light minutes from the colony." "Stealth systems active," reported Kevin Walsh. "We're completely invisible." On the main view screen they could see the devastation. 3 large Raxan warships surrounded the human colony, firing energy weapons at the surface. The colony's small defense ships had been destroyed. Orbital platforms burned. Thousands of people were about to die. "Scan the Raxan ships," Martinez ordered. "I want to know their weaknesses." "Their hulls are reinforced with titanium alloys," the science officer reported. "Standard weapons would barely scratch them." "Good thing we don't have standard weapons," Martinez said. "Lieutenant Commander Walsh, prepare graviton cannons." "Ready, sir." Martinez stood from his chair. "This is what we were built for. Take us in." The Harbinger moved toward the Raxan fleet, still cloaked in its stealth field. The alien ships continued their attack, unaware of the approaching danger. "We are in optimal firing range," Walsh announced. "Target their lead ship," Martinez ordered. "Fire." The graviton compression cannon released a beam of invisible force. Space itself seemed to warp around the targeted Raxan vessel. For a second, nothing happened. Then the massive warship began to collapse inward, its hull crumpling like paper as gravity inside it multiplied thousands of times. The ship imploded, leaving only scattered debris. The other Raxan ships immediately stopped their attack on the colony. "They're scanning for us," Jackson reported, "but they can't detect us through the stealth field." "They're firing blindly," Walsh added as energy beams shot in random directions. "Target the second ship," Martinez ordered calmly. "Fire when ready." The second Raxan ship suffered the same fate as the first, crushed by invisible forces. The third and final Raxan vessel turned to flee. "Should we let it go?" Jackson asked. Martinez shook his head. "No, they attacked a civilian colony, and we need to send a message." The third ship imploded just like the others. "Check the colony," Martinez ordered. "How many survivors?" "The main settlement is heavily damaged," the science officer reported. "But most of the colonists survived in underground shelters. I estimate 8,000 survivors out of 10,000 colonists. Send anonymous instructions for emergency medical care," Martinez told his communications officer. "Don't reveal our identity." But it was too late for complete secrecy. On the colony, survivors had emerged from shelters. Many had recording devices and had captured the strange destruction of the Raxan fleet. They couldn't see the Harbinger, but they had witnessed 3 powerful warships being crushed by an invisible force. Within hours, recordings spread across the Galactic communication network. Confederation officials were bombarded with questions about the mysterious savior of Tau Ceti. The Raxan Empire demanded answers, and they weren't the only ones asking questions. 2 more human colonies were attacked in the following days. Both times the attackers were destroyed by what appeared to be empty space. The galaxy buzzed with rumors of a ghost ship that could destroy entire fleets without being seen. In the Confederation Council chamber, High Admiral Zix Vorn faced angry representatives from multiple species. "These attacks on protected worlds cannot continue," he insisted to the assembled council. "Yet they do continue," said the representative from the Raxan Empire. "And our ships are being destroyed by some secret weapon. Is this your doing?" "The Confederation does not possess technology that can crush ships from within," Zix Vorn replied. "We are investigating these incidents." "Perhaps your human pets have broken their agreement," suggested another council member. "Their colonies are the only ones being protected by this ghost ship." Lisa Hawkins, attending as Earth's representative, kept her face carefully neutral. "Earth has complied with all disarmament requirements. We have no ships capable of what you describe." Later, in her private quarters, Lisa received a secure message from Admiral Donovan. "Harbinger has saved 3 colonies. Confederation suspicions growing. Prepare for diplomatic fallout." On the Harbinger, Captain Martinez looked at the latest orders from Earth. "We're being recalled temporarily. The Confederation is sending investigators to Earth." "Can they find evidence of the Harbinger?" First Officer Jackson asked. "No. As far as records show, the materials for this ship were used for civilian purposes, and they have no way to detect us with their technology." Engineer Samantha Rodriguez joined them on the bridge. "The quantum drive needs maintenance after those long jumps. This recall is good timing." Martinez nodded but looked troubled. "We've saved thousands of lives, but we've also changed the balance of power. The galaxy knows something new has entered the game. They just don't know it's us. Yet." "Do you think that's a problem?" Jackson asked. "No," Martinez said with determination. "It's time the galaxy learned humans aren't just some protected species to be controlled. We built this ship when they said it was impossible, and this is just the beginning." As the Harbinger began its journey back to Earth, news of the ghost ship spread across thousands of worlds. For the first time, the mighty Confederation seemed afraid, and the name Harbinger was whispered with both fear and hope. The massive space station called Harmonious Exchange floated at the edge of neutral space. Built by the oldest species in the galaxy, it had hosted peace talks and diplomatic meetings for 10,000 years. Today, it would host the largest emergency session of the Galactic Confederation in centuries. Ambassador Daniel Wright adjusted his formal uniform as he prepared to represent Earth. Unlike Commander Lisa Hawkins, who usually handled these meetings, Wright had been sent specifically because he had no knowledge of the Harbinger project. He could deny everything with complete honesty. Remember, Admiral Nancy Pierce told him before he left Earth, admit nothing. As far as you know, Earth has no advanced warships. The council chamber buzzed with voices from dozens of species. Many representatives pointed at Wright as he entered, their voices lowering to whispers. He kept his head high and took Earth's designated seat, a small chair in the far corner, reflecting humanity's low status. High Admiral Zix Vorn called the meeting to order. We face a serious situation. 3 Raxan battle groups have been destroyed by an unknown vessel that appears invisible to all sensors. This violates multiple Confederation treaties. The Raxan representative, a tall reptilian being with crimson scales, stood angrily. Our empire has lost 300 ships and nearly 9,000 warriors. We demand to know who is responsible. All eyes turned to Ambassador Wright. Earth has complied with all treaty requirements, Wright said calmly. Our military vessels are limited to system defense as specified in our agreement. We have no ship capable of destroying a Raxan battle group. Yet, only human colonies have been protected by this ghost ship, Zix Vorn noted. A strange coincidence. Perhaps someone else values human lives more than the Confederation does, Wright replied coolly. Your protection ships were conveniently delayed in all 3 attacks. The chamber erupted in angry shouts. Wright had just suggested the Confederation had deliberately left human colonies unprotected. As the debate continued, Engineer Samantha Rodriguez entered the station through a civilian transport dock. She had been sent to meet secretly with potential allies among the younger species. Her knowledge of the Harbinger's systems made her journey dangerous, but necessary. Unknown to everyone, the Harbinger itself waited in stealth mode just outside the station's sensor range. Captain Martinez had received intelligence that the Raxan might attempt something desperate. Any sign of Raxan ships? Martinez asked his sensor operator. Nothing yet, Captain. But the station's docking logs show 3 Raxan transports arrived yesterday. That's an unusually large delegation. First Officer Jackson looked concerned. They could have smuggled in assault teams. Inside the station, Samantha met with a representative from the Kalori, a species that had joined the Confederation only 200 years ago. My government is impressed by human engineering, the Kalori said quietly. The rumors of your ghost ship have reached us. If such technology exists, we would be interested in cooperation. I'm just an engineer, Samantha replied carefully. But I can arrange meetings with Earth's Technology Exchange Committee. Their conversation was interrupted when Samantha's secure communication device vibrated. The message from Earth's intelligence was clear. Raxan assassins on station. Target. Rodriguez, evacuate immediately. Across the station in the council chamber, the diplomatic meeting had turned hostile. We demand inspection rights for all Earth facilities, the Raxan representative hissed. If they have nothing to hide, they should welcome our investigators. Earth is a sovereign world under protection status, Ambassador Wright countered. You have no right to inspect our facilities. A distinguished council member with ancient, wispy features stood slowly. This was Thrix Vol of the Morvadian species, one of the founding members of the Confederation. I have studied human history since they joined us, Thrix Vol said in a whispery voice that nonetheless commanded attention. They advanced from primitive flight to space travel in less than a century. Their scientific development moves at a pace unmatched by any species we have encountered. The chamber fell silent. If humans have indeed created a ship beyond our technological understanding, we should not be surprised, Thrix Vol continued. We have underestimated them from the beginning. The Raxan representative snarled. You speak of admiration while they destroy our ships that were attacking defenseless colonies, Wright pointed out. Meanwhile, Samantha Rodriguez moved quickly toward the civilian docks, hoping to reach her transport before the Raxan assassins found her. She turned a corner and froze. 3 Raxan warriors blocked her path, their scaled hands reaching for weapons. Engineer Rodriguez, one said. You will come with us. The Raxan Empire has questions about certain technology. Samantha backed away, I think there's been a mistake. No mistake. We tracked your quantum communication signature. You are connected to the ghost ship. On the Harbinger, alarms suddenly blared. Captain, we're detecting weapons fire on the station, the tactical officer reported. Location matches Engineer Rodriguez's tracking signal. Martinez stood immediately. Move us in, prepare rescue team. Sir, First Officer Jackson warned, if we approach the station, we'll have to drop our stealth field to use transporters. Everyone will see us, I know. Martinez's face was set with determination. But we don't leave our people behind. Take us in. In the station corridor, Samantha dodged energy blasts as she took cover behind a support column. The Raxan assassins advanced slowly, their weapons ready. Your ship cannot save you here, one taunted. Surrender and live. Suddenly the lights in the corridor flickered. A strange humming filled the air. The Raxan assassins looked around in confusion. What is that sound? One demanded. A shimmer of energy appeared in the corridor between Samantha and her attackers. The air itself seemed to fold, and suddenly 6 human soldiers in black combat suits materialized, weapons raised. Earth Defense Force, their leader announced. Drop your weapons. The Raxan fired instead. Energy beams bounced harmlessly off. The soldiers advanced shields. The humans returned fire with precision, stunning all 3 attackers. Engineer Rodriguez, the team leader asked. Captain Martinez sent us. We need to move quickly. In the council chamber, the diplomatic debate was interrupted when the entire station shuddered slightly. What was that? Zixvorn demanded. A junior officer rushed in. Admiral, a ship has just appeared beside the station. It's like nothing we've ever seen. The main viewing screen activated, showing a massive dark vessel hovering near the station. Its hull absorbed light in impossible ways. Its shape defied conventional design. Every weapon port on the station had automatically targeted it. But no one gave the order to fire. They were too shocked. The Raxan representative couldn't finish the sentence. The screen changed to show a human face. Captain Alan Martinez looked calmly at the assembled representatives of the galaxy's most powerful species. This is the USS Harbinger, he announced. We have recovered our personnel from Raxan assassins operating illegally on this station. We built this ship to protect our people when you wouldn't. Remember that. Ambassador Wright's face showed genuine shock. This wasn't part of the plan. The Harbinger was supposed to remain secret. High Admiral Zixvorn turned to him with fury. You claimed you had no such ship. Before Wright could answer, the Harbinger vanished from the screen, jumping instantly into quantum space. The galaxy would never be the same again. 6 months passed since the USS Harbinger revealed itself to the Galactic Confederation. The galaxy's power balance had shifted dramatically. Earth was no longer treated as a backward world needing protection. Now, every species watched humans with caution and respect. In the presidential office in Washington, D.C., President Eleanor Blackwood met with Admiral Nancy Pierce and the now famous Captain Alan Martinez. The Confederation has proposed a new treaty, President Blackwood said, sliding a document across the table. They want to upgrade Earth from protected species to full member status. After 5 years of treating us like children, Admiral Pierce noted with satisfaction. Amazing how one ship changed their minds. Captain Martinez looked less pleased. They're still trying to limit us. Page 3 requires we share the Harbinger's technology. Which we won't do, the President confirmed. I've already rejected those terms. Our counteroffer accepts full member status but keeps our military technology private. Will they agree? Martinez asked. They don't have much choice. The Harbinger proved they can't control us, and now that the Kalori, Ventari, and 4 other younger species have formed a separate alliance with us, the Confederation fears losing more influence. Admiral Pierce smiled. The balance of power has shifted in our favor. At the Neptune shipyards, engineer Samantha Rodriguez led a tour for First Officer Maya Jackson. The facility had expanded significantly. Construction bays that once needed to be hidden now operated in full view. The second Harbinger-class vessel is nearly complete, Samantha explained, pointing to a massive shape taking form in the largest bay. The USS Vanguard will be ready within 2 months. And the other 3? Jackson asked. On schedule. The USS Sentinel, Defender, and Guardian will all be operational within a year. They stopped to watch workers installing a new component on the Vanguard's hull. We've improved the quantum drive, Samantha continued. The new version uses 30% less power and can sustain longer jumps. Jackson nodded with approval. The original Harbinger is scheduled for these upgrades next month. Captain Martinez is looking forward to testing them. In another part of the solar system, Lieutenant Commander Kevin Walsh led training for weapons. Officers from all 5 Harbinger-class ships. The simulator room on Mars base showed a realistic battle scenario. The graviton cannons are not your only option, Walsh explained to the gathered officers. Sometimes a less destructive approach is needed. He demonstrated targeting techniques that disabled enemy ships without destroying them completely. Remember, our goal isn't to terrify the galaxy forever. It's to ensure humans are treated with respect and left in peace. One young officer raised her hand. Sir, is it true the Raxan Empire is building ships to counter ours? Walsh nodded grimly. They're trying, but their science still doesn't understand how our technology works. They're copying the shape of our ships without grasping the principles behind them. On the neutral world of Centauri Prime, Ambassador Daniel Wright met with representatives from 17 different species. Once ignored at such gatherings, he now held center position at the table. Earth is willing to share agricultural technology, medical advancements, and our unique approach to energy production, Wright told the assembled aliens. But we will not share military systems. The representative from the ancient Morvadian species spoke softly. We have been watching your kind for generations. Never have we seen a species advance so quickly or adapt so creatively. It is concerning. Wright smiled diplomatically. We simply took different paths in our technological development. Your species mastered biological science far beyond our understanding. We focused on physics and materials, and created a warship that terrifies the galaxy, added the Raxan representative bitterly. We created a ship to protect our people when no one else would, Wright corrected. The Harbinger has never attacked a peaceful vessel. It has only defended the defenseless. Back aboard the USS Harbinger, Captain Martinez received a secure communication from Earth. The message was short but significant. Treaty negotiations successful. Earth recognized as sovereign and equal member of Galactic Confederation. He shared the news with his crew, who celebrated throughout the ship. Only First Officer Jackson noticed the captain's reserved expression. You don't seem happy about the treaty, she observed when they were alone on the bridge. I'm glad Earth is safe and respected, Martinez replied. But I worry we're becoming what we feared. The Harbinger was built because the galaxy's powerful preyed on the weak. Now we're among the powerful. Jackson considered this. That's why your leadership matters. You've never used this ship to bully or conquer. And I never will, Martinez promised. But what about 50 years from now? Or 100? Power can corrupt even the best intentions. Their conversation was interrupted when the communications officer called out, Captain, priority message from Deep Space Monitoring Station. They've detected something unusual at the edge of our solar system. Put it on screen, Martinez ordered. The view screen showed an object moving toward Earth. It resembled no known ship design. It was massive, at least 3 times larger than the Harbinger. Analysis? Martinez asked the science officer. Unknown. Configuration, sir. Not matching any Confederation or Raxan design. Sir, I believe it's from outside the known galaxy. Martinez and Jackson exchanged glances. This was something completely new. Alert Earth, Martinez ordered, and prepare the ship for potential first contact. It seems the galaxy is bigger than even the Confederation knew. At Earth's Space Command headquarters, Admiral Pierce studied the incoming reports with President Blackwood. First, an unknown ship approaches. Now our deep space telescopes show more objects moving this way, Pierce noted. Could be an invasion force. President Blackwood looked thoughtful rather than worried. Or it could be explorers. Either way, humanity is ready. 5 years ago, we were alone and vulnerable. Today, we have the Harbinger and its sister ships. And, more importantly, Admiral Pierce added, we have the respect of the galaxy. The Confederation has already offered to send ships to assist us. Quite a change from when they treated us as children, the President observed. In the vast shipyard beneath Neptune's moon, engineer Samantha Rodriguez looked at the blueprints for an even more advanced vessel. This design incorporated lessons learned from the Harbinger and pushed technology even further. Admiral Donovan joined her, studying the plans. Will it work? It will, she confirmed. The Harbinger was just the beginning. This ship will take us beyond the galaxy itself. Across the stars, word spread of the approaching unknown vessels and Earth's preparation to meet them. Many species remembered how they had once dismissed humans as primitive and unimportant. None made that mistake any longer. The ship that had terrified the galaxy had also changed it forever. Whatever came next, humanity would face it as equals among the stars, not as protected children, and the USS Harbinger would lead the way.